Every year we have an abundance of black currants, gooseberries, white and red currants, but strawberries are our favourite summer fruit by far, and my kids absolutely adore strawberries. We love the sweet flavour of seasonal strawberries and love to pick them fresh. And we have had some very new strawberry plants in our garden this year, but we haven't had a harvest of them yet, and we probably won't get much strawberries from them at all this year. But we do have a regular local supply to keep us going.
I don't think there's anything more enjoyable than the sweet taste of a fresh seasonal strawberry. They are so good, and hopefully next year we'll have an abundance in the garden and we'll be able to pick our own from our own garden next year. So we have tried many strawberry recipes over the years, and I thought I would share our favourites with you today. These are our family favourites, which we've been cooking for quite some time, and I put all the recipes up on my blog as well, angiemilne.com, so you can print them out from there or you can follow the instructions in this video. And we absolutely love making the traditional Scottish strawberry jam that our grannies used to make in the kitchen. And we love keeping it until the winter months and using it on pancakes and sourdough toast and things. But we also in the summer really enjoy making a fridge jam as well. Now, it's so good, and it actually has reduced sugar content as well compared to a traditional jam, so it's a little bit healthier for you, and it still tastes so sweet and so delicious.
Start by cleaning the strawberries and removing all the green tops, and then weigh out 350 grams of strawberries and 75 grams of golden caster sugar. Add the strawberries to a small pan along with the caster sugar and squeeze half a lemon into the pan and start to simmer gently. Mash the strawberries into a rough pulp and bring to a gentle boil and back to a simmer again. And split a vanilla bean pod, scrape out the seeds using a knife and add the seeds and the split pod back into the pan. Now you're going to want to gently remove any scum that has arisen on the top of the liquid, and then you're going to leave the pan to simmer gently for 20 to 25 minutes and just stir now and again to make sure that it's not sticking to the bottom of the pan. This is going to cook away the watery texture, and the jam will also darken, so the jam will be a nice thick consistency when ready, although it is a little thinner than a traditional boiled long life jam. So leave the jam to cool slightly and pour it into a sealable jar. And I used some straight away on some delicious Scottish ice cream with additional strawberries, grated white chocolate and sprinkles, of course.
I also used some of this strawberry fridge jam to fill a light sponge cake with whipped cream, and it was so good with some additional berries and a dusting of icing sugar on the top. Everyone really enjoyed it. The sponge cake was also on my blog. I used it for the rhubarb cake as well, but I will put the recipe up again, and it's just such a nice enjoyable light sponge that you can use for the summer months and the spring months as well. It just works really well with fruit inside. The cake did keep for a few days, but we did have to keep it in the fridge due to the fresh cream, but it was really good. And if it was going a little stale, you could also have it with a bit of custard as well. That would be really good.
So set the oven to 200 Celsius or 180 if it's a fan oven. Add 4 eggs to the mixing bowl with a whisk attachment. Add in 125 grams of sugar and whisk on high speed until the mixture turns into a light colour and also a light texture as well. So you want it quite nice and light and fluffy. fold in 150 grams of sifted flour really gently to kind of keep that light, fluffy consistency. And then pour it into a greased cake tin and bake for 30 minutes. I left the cake to cool completely before I split it in two. You can split it in three as well if you want to make a triple layered cake, which looks quite good as well. And then I added a batch of freshly whipped cream to the middle. I then added a couple of tablespoons of the fridge jam and slices of strawberries to fill the centre. Add the top of the sponge on and another spreading of whipped cream, and I've also spread a little of the fridge jam on top here as well and just mixed it through with a fork. And I've put on some more strawberry slices, blueberries and even some cherries, and then dusted with icing sugar to finish, and then slice and serve. And then any leftover cake needs to be stored in the fridge afterwards as well.
So another favourite recipe of the kids is the strawberry fruit leather, and they absolutely love it. Now you can make it up in huge batches, store it in airtight containers, and it will keep for a really long time. That doesn't happen in my house because the kids tend to eat it all in the same day, but it's really, really good, and it's just another way to preserve your summer berry harvest. And you can make fruit leathers with so many other different types of berries and fruits. We actually also made a fruit leather with a bottle of innocent smoothie once, and it worked really, really good. And you can pack these fruit leathers in packed lunch boxes, school snacks, and they just transport really well. So I use an Excalibur dehydrator for dehydrating my fruit and turn it into fruit leather, and I would recommend using a designated dehydrator rather than your oven. They do tend to use less energy, and you can also kind of hold the nutrient content of your food as well better in a dehydrator because you can put it on a lower setting. But if you don't have a dehydrator, and I understand that not everybody does, then you can use your oven for this recipe as well. Just put it on low and just keep an eye on it. And on the dehydrator as well, I also have some special non-stick sheets that I use, but if you're doing it in the oven, I would just use some baking paper with maybe a little small smearing of like oil, like not a strong tasting oil, just a tiny little drop of oil on the baking sheet so it doesn't stick, because my sheets for the dehydrator are really, really non-stick and I don't need to put anything on them at all.
These fruit leathers are so easy to make. You simply blend up a punnet of strawberries with a little raw honey or other sweetener until smooth. So you want them to be about a double cream type consistency. Pour them onto the dehydrator sheet and then spread them really thin, almost to the edges. You don't want to go right to the edge because it will stick if you go right to the edge, and it makes it a bit more tricky to peel off. and then set the dehydrator to fruit leather, or you can cook on low in an oven on a baking sheet, but I would add a tiny amount of oil just to grease the bacon sheet so that they don't stick. These fruit leathers can be made with so many different fruits and are great for school treats and packed lunches without all the extra ingredients. As long as you pop them into a sealable jar, and they will keep for a long time. They tend to get eaten in a week in my house. The kids don't tend to keep them for very long, they love them. We've also made some fruit leathers with a bottle of innocent smoothie once, and that also came out really well.
So we also love to pop a load of seasonal strawberries in the freezer, and that's usually what we do after a pick your own session. And we haven't made it to a pick your own farm this year due to all the restrictions and stuff that are going on, but hopefully we will before the summer's out. And one year, or pretty much the last time we were there actually, we picked so many strawberries. They literally covered the whole kitchen table behind me, and we had to put them all in the freezer, and we ate so many strawberry milkshakes that year. But they were so good. And if you're doing a pick your own session and you've got loads of strawberries, pop them in the freezer and use them in a smoothie. They work really well. Now my favourite ingredients for a strawberry smoothie are frozen strawberries, of course. I like to use kefir milk, I like to use hemp hearts, a little bit coconut oil, and some raw honey, and maybe a banana as well. And just some water to top it up, and it makes the most absolute delicious smoothie. I know I said in my last vlog that the kale smoothie was my favourite, but it was my second favourite, because the strawberry smoothie is my ultimate smoothie in the summer months. I absolutely love it, and the kids love it as well, and I kind of get by with saying that it's a strawberry milkshake, so they tend to drink it up more than they would some of my green smoothies. So if you've got loads of fresh strawberries from a pick your own session, that is definitely the recipe for you. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed these strawberry recipes. If you did, give me a thumbs up and a quick subscribe, and I will see you guys again soon. And also, if you're on Instagram, pop over and say hello, or Facebook. I'm on pretty much busy on those two channels. I'm also on Twitter, but not very active on there at all. I just can't seem to get the hang of the whole Twitter thing. So anyway, take care guys, and I'll see you again soon. Lots of love. Bye!